We can do this. Do you want to go on the trolley for...
I would do that, to be honest. Because I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but this one shows only, like, Key West's darker side. Voted top 10 best ghost tour by USA Today readers. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? I think I would do that.
Yeah. Just because even, like, from, like, the research I did from it, people still are having, like, interactions with this doll, like, in the museum. Like electronics, like, malfunctioning.
Oh, I mean, that's just...
And, like, I think cameras malfunctioning. Like, the workers didn't believe, really, that anything was, like, up with the doll. Until,
how are you going to work at a place with a haunted doll and not believe?
No, really, until Robert made himself known during that. And they were like, damn, that's so crazy. I guess he's real. He in this bitch.
No, like, I don't know. That's just... It just doesn't sit right with me. I would definitely be the person to just call him out. Flip the car on the way home. Drive off the bridge. Or, well, like, lose our brakes or somehow, some way.
Well, he, like... Again, what I found was that, like, as, like, the kid grew older, like, the things got worse. Like, mutilated toys. Like, overturning furniture in, like, various parts of the house. Like, an electrician was there working on the house. There was no one else home, and he heard, like, kids laughing. And then, like, Robert was in, like, a different position with, like, and, like, threw the stuff that was on his lap previously, like, off. And I was like, me personally, if I was the electrician, I wouldn't let that slide. I would fucking leave.
Anywho, welcome back to the Boosnbays podcast.
Are you kidding?
Welcome back to the Boosnbays podcast. I'm your host, Jace. This is Madison. Today we got a good story, something that we've been holding in for a while. Madison, I think you have the perfect introduction for this, for what we just said. What are we going to be talking about today?
We are going to be talking about Robert the Doll. If you haven't heard of Robert the Doll, he currently resides in Key West. So kind of close to us, actually.
Like an 8-hour drive?
Yeah, so I guess disclaimer, Robert, if you're listening, we respect you, and we respect what you can do.
I don't respect the doll.
Damn, why?
Because I want something to happen. That's how I know it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But...
Like, that's, like, going back to the Sally house.
Can you wait till after you drop me off so we don't go flying off the road because you want to challenge a doll?
Well, here's the thing. Like, not that I'm, like, looking to get hurt or, like, antagonize, like, a doll or, like, a ghost or anything. But it's more like... I want to know that it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get a little scratch on my arm. And I'll be like, all right, Sally, you're good. You're good. No more. No.
What a tease.
What a tease. You're good. No more. But then I know. I'll know she's aight, you know? She's cool. She's with the gang. Dab her up maybe afterwards.
Maybe you guys can come up with, like, a hand sign?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because I want to see her one time and that's it.
But what if she follows you home?
I'm not going to allow that to happen.
What if Robert and Sally get together?
If Robert and Sally get together, that's like the Avengers. Teaming up.
And Annabelle.
And Annabelle. All the Avengers just teaming up to take me down.
So that's actually what we're doing. We're trying to do episode by episode like the Infinity Stones, trying to get the Avengers together.
Oh my gosh. No, but like with Robert the Doll, you know, obviously I kind of want to just like be like, hey Robert, what's up, you know?
Robbie, if you will.
Robbie, you know, call him out. Rob, dude, what you doing tonight?
What's that?
You want to go get a beer or something? Come on now. And then, you know, like, see what happens, and then see how, like what goes on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I don't want to die after being, like punching this doll in the face or, like, throwing it to the floor, but...
But you don't know that, though. I guess, I mean, from what I've read... There's been no encounters that anyone's been dead.
I'll be the first.
Yeah. But also, though, I wonder how many murder cases happen as a result of, like, a ghost. But because ghosts aren't treated as, like, real.
Well, I think I read something one time where there's been one account that, like, I guess the judge or there's been one account, like one death that's been related to the paranormal. And I think that was like, it was somewhere up northeast or something like that. And the ghost kind of like poisoned the person, like had a vendetta against the person. So they poisoned him.
I'd be so pissed.
And like
I'd be
no
so
one could
pissed.
figure out like how this happened because the guy wasn't able to like do whatever. We'll go into the details on another episode, but I think like that would have been like kind of unexplainable, and that's what I don't want that to happen to me, obviously. I don't want to die by a ghost.
Yeah.
I want to antagonize a ghost, but I don't want to die by one.
Yeah, but it's people that go to antagonize them. They're the ones that die from the ghost. It's never like, well, no. Sometimes like, like Amityville Horror or like, the other one in like London or wherever.
Oh, with the nun. The Conjuring with the nun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like with those ones, I feel like obviously the families living there aren't intentionally trying to antagonize them, but they still get almost murdered by the ghosts.
That is true.
To be fair, though, in scary movies, it is
Dramatized.
I couldn't think of the word fast
I know
enough
you
of
couldn't,
how you
so
say it.
I had to say it. I had
Say
to jump
it.
in.
It's obviously like more intense, but there are a lot of like pictures and stuff that I feel like couldn't be caused by like a human doing it.
Pictures
Of like scratches or like the
Oh,
little girl like
yeah.
levitating. It's like, well, and people are like, oh, well, that was Photoshopped. I'm like, it was the 70s. I don't even know if that, like, if they were able to do that in the 70s. Like a random small town family.
No, I feel that. I want to be levitated, personally.
Maybe we can
And then,
make
like,
that
maybe
happen.
thrown across the room or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe for the next episode, we'll film it and get someone to hex you and throw you across the room.
Yeah. Or we can just go to the Sally House or Robert the Doll. Because here's the thing. Like, if I go to Robert the Doll and I'm, like, antagonizing him or whatever, and then our brakes are suddenly just cut, returning home, they're going to be like, oh, the brakes. That's why they died. They're not going to be like, Robert the Doll.
No,
this
that's
guy
what I'm
just
saying,
called Robert
though.
the Doll out,
You said someone's gonna be like doing an interview and be like of a museum employee and be like, so what did you hear Mr. Johnson say to the doll? You're a bitch for that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, well.
You best know if I survive that encounter, though, I'm coming back with some vengeance.
With crutches.
With crutches, I'm coming back. I'm going to beat that doll up. I don't care if I get kicked out. We're going to have a little tussle.
The doll's made out of straw. Like,
Oh, he's done then, if that's the case. He's
you
done.
can light a match.
All right, I'm not trying to commit arson here, but
But the thing
I'm
is,
trying to beat up this doll.
I think about that, like, me and my brother have had this debate, like, even with, like, the Chucky movies. He's like, I don't understand how, like, someone who's, like, 6'5", or whatever is like, don't, please, stop. He goes, I would literally just kick Chucky. I would simply kick Chucky across
That's
the
what
room.
I'm saying. People say they're afraid of Chucky, but I'm like, how? Like, why? Why are you afraid of Chucky? What's he going to do to you?
Realistically.
Obviously, I've never seen the movies, but I know from just looking at him, he's gonna get punted the second he gets seen.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid. What? I'm gonna get a little knife cut? Maybe cut my Achilles? Sure.
I will
Worst
say,
possible
that's, like,
thing.
one of my biggest fears. I don't know why. I don't play sports. I don't, like,
For
there's...
your Achilles to get...
For whatever reason, I don't know if I've seen a lot of scary movies with that in it, but, like, the thought of, like, I can't even think about it. Like, I've had nightmares before about, like, my Achilles, like, getting cut or, like, being exposed and somehow, like, a freak accident takes them out. I don't know why.
Well, have you seen... There's, like, a TikTok. There's a lady on TikTok, and she'll go around, and she'll be like, oh, if you see this on your car, like, get inside and rush home or, like, whatever. If you see this, like, around your car, then, like leave or like make sure you're aware of your surroundings if you see this.
Or, like,
if you see
not by, like, under your car. Like, don't walk past, like, under your car.
Yeah, because apparently what some people do is wait under your car and snatch them Achilles.
Oh
So you can't run away.
I'm literally never going anywhere ever again.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, like theoretically.
That's so fucked up.
Theoretically, that's like the smartest thing you could possibly do though. So they can't run away.
Someone's Achilles, yeah.
Because if you can run without your Achilles, you're a god. apparently. I don't think that's even possible.
I know people have definitely, like, I know people that have gotten, like, have, like, injured it or whatever, like, playing sports and stuff.
There's videos of, like, there's someone that was just doing, like, jumping jacks or something, and she tore her Achilles, but it popped up into her calf and made the loudest bang. And people in the comments of the TikTok were like, I didn't even know the human body can make that kind of noise. And I was like, you hear it. You audibly hear, like, the bang.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
I'm, like, sweaty thinking about it.
Is that a dog?
I don't know if it's a dog or, like, a baby. Like a kid.
What is going on?
It's Robert the doll.
It's Robert the dog.
He's actually, he's signaling, like, Annabelle, everyone. He's like, listen, this guy thinks he could take us all.
They're actually on the hood of my car right now.
Could you imagine?
On the hood of my car looking at us. I'm not going to leave. But, so, all right. Now that we got all that situated, we're about 11 minutes into this podcast. What is the backstory behind Robert the doll?
So the history of Robert the doll, the origin is unknown. There's 3 different origins that they think it could be. The first one that it was, because the doll ultimately was gifted to Robert Eugene Otto in 1904. They don't know if it's from his grandfather that just gifted him this straw doll. He's usually has a little sailor's outfit on that belonged to bigger Robert. I don't know how to.
Okay.
They did call him Eugene sometimes.
That's such a weird name.
Yeah, but
sorry to any Eugenes listening, but
the second one was that it was gifted by a maid that they had that hexed the doll in, like, retaliation to the family and then gifted it to the kid. The third one is officials from the museum say it was intended to be a window display of, I believe it's Steiff, if I'm saying that correctly, of Steiff Company. They designed the first teddy bear.
Okay, I see that.
So one of those, regardless, it got to the kid. And,
somehow, some way.
He loved it. He brought it everywhere. He would blame, like, mischief and stuff that would happen in his house on the doll. When he got older, the mischief got worse. Like, he would mutilate toys, like, overturn, like, couches, like...
He had a fight club with toys?
No, really, like, crazy stuff. And obviously people are probably going to say, like, oh, well, the kid could have done that, like, and blamed it on the doll. And I get that, but, like, when the kid grew older, I think he was only, like, 10 or something. I don't know many 10-year-olds that can, like, flip dining room tables or, like, flip couches. Do you?
I mean, you could probably find someone, but
the average child.
The average child would not be able to do that.
No, and, like, the parents often heard him talk to the doll, like, whisper.
Oh, we'll do that.
Oh, but one time they heard a deep voice answer him back.
Hey, yo, what's up, dog?
No, literally, like, because they would always hear him whisper, and they're like, oh my god, that's so cute, he loves his doll. And then one time he literally turned around and they heard, like, the kid didn't know the parents were listening. And the doll answered the kid, like, in a deep voice. And the parents were like, well, that's super concerning. They've had, like, plumbers at the house that heard kids' laughter, like I said earlier. And, like, the doll moved.
Oh.
When Robert got older, he, for whatever reason, after he went off to college...
Okay, Robert the child.
Robert the child went off to college and graduated from wherever, met his wife, Anne.
Oof, that doll did not like that.
No.
Let me tell you that.
No.
If I was that doll, I'd be cutting up that lady. She just stole my best friend.
No, really. You can't... Gotta pick bros over hoes. Bros over hoes. And so they came back and was like, you know, Otto or Eugene, whatever he wants to go by, bigger Robert. Him and Anne came back to the house to his childhood house. It's called the Artist House. Now it's a bed and breakfast you can stay at.
Oh, we're definitely staying there.
Oh, for sure. But he told Anne, like, hey, this is my childhood doll. I would like to build him a special room in our house. Personally, I feel like that should have been a red flag. That a adult male, adult anybody, was telling their significant other, I have to build an entire, like, playroom bed and everything for my childhood doll.
But you know what? I remember you telling me about this, and I think, like, really taking the time to, like, dive deep into this and think about it. Maybe he knew what was up with Robert the doll.
Like, he knew that the doll was real?
Yeah, he knew that thing was haunted.
You're trying to make him comfy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, he knew something was wrong about that doll.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm not going to anger this thing because I know it, like, would hurt me.
Yeah.
So I'm, as weird as it sounds, I'm going to make this room for him. So that he
'Cause
doesn't
also,
come and slash my Achilles.
You also have to, like, if it was gifted to him in 1904 and he was a kid, this, like, him moving back to his childhood home, it was probably, like, in the 1930s?
20s, maybe?
20s, 30s. So, like, obviously they didn't have horror movies like that.
I totally forgot that it was that, like, early in time.
Yeah. So I feel like even more so, maybe, he knew that Robert the doll was acting a little shady. Not gonna lie. Acting a little shady about it. Could have done better.
Could have done better. Man.
But, Anne said that's a no-go.
Anne thought it was a red flag.
Yeah, Anne
Right,
said,
good.
hey, like, I love you, bestie, but also, like, maybe we lock the doll up. They tried locking Robert up. Robert said, no, sweetie, and would break out, would move, like, locals were, like, afraid, because the
people
locals
knew about this.
Yeah, so the locals in their
Okay.
town, what they think the origin of the doll is, they mostly think it's the maid who, like, hexed the doll and gave it to the kid.
Okay, so they had, like, a vendetta against Robert.
Yeah.
Or, like, the family, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
So the locals are, from what I've read, more believe that it was the maid who hexed it. So that would make sense if he was, mutilating toys, acting a fool. But locals wouldn't like to walk past the house because, like, Robert, they said, would follow, like, their, like, head and eyes would follow, or, like, Robert would be propped, like, facing the window, and then, like, they would look down, and when they would look back up, Robert was, like, facing the other way.
That gave me chills. Just, like, imagine passing it.
I wouldn't even, so my
Like, how
question to
does that-
you, would you, like, let's say you walked past, like, my house, right, and there was a doll in the window,
Yep.
and it was looking at you,
Yep.
and then the next time you looked at it, it, like, moved. Would you tell me, like, hey, I think the doll you have is haunted, or would you just be like, yeah, not walking past your house anymore? Like, do you think people told him?
Maybe a little bit of both, honestly. I think, one, I would probably never associate myself with you again because I would be just too scared.
He said, welcome back to just booze. No,
Yeah,
no bays, just booze.
No, that's definitely, like, creepy. Like, that's just scary, eerie. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I would obviously tell you. I'd be like, move out that house ASAP. Like,
A$AP
don't even
Rocky.
like get rid of the doll. Just move out of the house. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I literally don't even know. Like, that's just, like, give it to the Goodwill or something. Let someone else deal with that.
Yeah.
Is that kind of mean to say? Give it to the Goodwill.
Give it to someone who's down on their luck.
Yeah,
to make
maybe.
them more down on their luck.
Maybe.
I know, like, some...
Actually, you know what? I'll tell you to keep the doll. So we can profit off of it.
So we can put them on the podcast.
Yes. Put him on the podcast. Put him right here in the back seat of this car cast. Give him, like, a mic. Maybe he'll say, hey, what's
He
up,
also
dog?
has a dog.
Yeah, I see that from the pictures.
With, like, the pictures will be on Instagram. It is a creepy doll to look at.
Maybe that was the barking we heard at the beginning.
No, it was the dog.
It is Robert the dog.
The visitors that, like, go to the museum, like, to this day, they leave him, like, which I think is so funny, they leave him, like, candy and, like, joints
Joints.
As,
Those
like-
are two different things.
No, like candy, joints, like
Money
sometimes,
Okay.
like offerings. He gets letters.
Damn, I
Like
got
he gets,
letters.
I think the museum website said he gets like up to like 1,000 letters a year. That's like,
nice.
oh, Robert, my teacher gave me a D, hex them. Like, I'm not kidding, like crazy stuff. Like, could you? Can you imagine
I'm gonna start doing that.
if you, like, imagine that you wronged someone so bad. Like, I work in retail, right? Imagine this lady was like, I hate you, you're stupid, your coupons suck, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let God handle it. And I write into Robert and say, hey, Robert, their rewards number is X, Y, and Z. Get them.
It's their email, their phone number if you want to send them a little message
No,
before.
really, along with their birthday coupon.
That's crazy that people are like telling him to hex their teacher. Like,
Sounds so
you got to be
wild.
so down bad to do that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, no, really.
I mean, I would probably do it too if I was that like heated. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like that's downright crazy.
Yeah. And like even people, which I wonder, because the people that work at the museum, some of them didn't think, they were doubters. They didn't think he was real, but he still makes it known that he's real at the museum. Like he will,
Is he locked up? Like the Annabelle doll's kind of like locked in that little box?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, all
So
right.
he's locked up. He like makes electronics like malfunction, like cell phones, lights, anything. That he's like moved things before, like moved different parts, like when he was out of the box, I guess. Like,
Who would let him out? Are you kidding me?
but like what I imagine is like I wonder whose job it is to like read Robert the letters.
To be honest, I want that job.
No, really, like I wonder if they like read it to him, or if they just read it amongst themselves, or just kind of like give him the letters to open and just
Could
leave
you
the room
imagine
to
you see
let
him with a letter opener? Just, are you kidding me? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be
actually.
kind of sick. Watch it. I would watch that. Like a live reading.
He's just with his deep voice. Hey, you want me to hex your teacher? Okay.
And then you just see like a teacher like miles away. Okay, today class just gets shot down.
Just yeet it
Like
out of
by
the room,
like for no reason.
out of the window.
And then the kid's just like, yes.
That kid, oh my gosh. But has like, because what I'm thinking, I think this is like almost, I don't know when Annabelle was made or whatever, but this sounds pretty close to an Annabelle kind of doll.
Yeah.
So like, I'm assuming the similarities are like almost the same in terms of like, like if you can't taunt the doll, you can't, like strangle it and like throw it on the floor, like be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, because I'm reading right here that like people that mess with the doll literally get in car accidents right after. Like get in car accidents, they have broken bones, job loss, divorce, and it says a cornucopia of other misfortunes. And it's like, what? Like, first off, there's something way beyond that we like just don't understand, like how Robert or the spirit could cause someone like that type of misfortune. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some type of like luck involved with it.
So, I don't know. I don't know how like, do you think, where do you think, because I'm looking up, like, the origin of, like, Annabelle.
Mm-hmm.
And, like,
Oh, that's for a whole different podcast right there.
no,
But
I
we
know.
got it.
We got it. Because, like, Annabelle, it says that, like, Annabelle was a brand new doll, like, in the 1970s, whatever. It was gifted to a young nurse named Donna,
like
from
the
her
movie.
mom.
Okay.
Yeah. She thrilled with the gift, whatever. Brought it back to her apartment, showed her roomie. They were like, oh my god, she's so cute. But then they realized that she would, like, move around and stuff like that. And then she would start finding notes like, help me, and, like, written on parchment paper they didn't even have in their house.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, Annabelle and, like, Robert the doll, very real things that happen, but they're always gifted. And, like, the maid, that makes sense. with the hex.
Mm-hmm.
Where do these evil ass dolls keep like coming from though? Because I wouldn't expect like me giving like my niece or nephew like a doll and then like Kate calling me up and being like, "Hey, Zoe's levitating over her crib. So like what can we do about that?" Like I'd be like,
I don't know,
lose my number? I don't know.
lose my number, sorry, I'm never talking to you again.
No, really.
But like, I don't know. I think it also, I feel like we said this in another podcast, but I feel like it also comes with the times. How, back in 1904, there's not like the movies and there's pretty much, I don't want to say everything's real, but like, there's like that sort of thing still happening with like witches or like people cursing or hexing or stuff like that. Like some old timey stuff happening. But like now, I'm looking over here, I don't see any like someone that would like hex a doll like this day and age, 21st century, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Besides like voodoo dolls.
That is true, but we don't live in that part of the
No,
country.
we very much do not.
To see like a voodoo doll. Maybe if we like went to some like, if we went a little bit
like
north.
Louisiana?
Or just northern Florida. Actually, we would just get shot there, but
yeah,
like Louisiana, that'd be fine. But it's like, I don't know. I think just times have changed, so there's not a lot of like that hexing or whatever going on. So it was more prominent back then,
and people also accepted things from anybody.
That is true.
Like I feel like now people are so careful with like what they bring into their house, like especially now, like not even within the past like 10 years, like within the past I feel like 2 years, people are so careful with like what they bring into their house, what toys they give their kids.
No,
like
someone's gonna give me a doll. That thing's gonna have COVID-20 on it.
But that's
scared. I'm scared of that doll.
Or a camera in it or something crazy. Like I feel like back then they were like, "Oh, I took this from a dying girl of smallpox in the hospital," and like one of the like nurses are like, "Oh my god, that would be perfect for my kid." Like you don't what? Like you excuse me with smallpox? Like.
The doll has smallpox as well.
Clorox isn't invented yet, is it? Like, I'm so confused.
No. I think what could also happen, though, is that, like, maybe the doll never gets possessed beforehand, but the place the doll ends up is possessed. And, like, that spirit, that thing, that demonic figure, whatever, goes in that doll because it's like a vessel, quote unquote. So maybe it's not like the doll that's haunted from the get-go, it's the place that it ends up. So like Robert's house, his childhood house, maybe that stuff was haunted. And there's a ghost that's at doll, taking it, goes into the doll with the little dog and says, "All right, I'm here. I'm going to start looking at some people. I'm going to start whispering in your ear, hey, little mama." All that kind of stuff. I think that's a possibility. Or the hex.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think objects hold more like spiritual weight or houses?
I think they're two different things. For instance, like I think the dolls or like the objects, I think if it's a ghost that wants to move somewhere, go from location to location, I think the object will be better suited for them because they want maybe that, like we just said, like that doll is going to get passed along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that ghost can go haunt multiple people, while at the house, there might be multiple people that lived at the house, but you could also have like that one family that just lives there for however long. And that ghost can't move from that house unless it attaches itself to someone, something.
Yeah. I know that like there's movies made about Robert the Doll, and apparently Chucky is based on Robert the Doll, so it's funny that we were talking about him earlier. But I feel like a lot of it is like they don't necessarily, I don't know. I feel like because like I just saw another article that said whoever gave Robert the Doll could have like practiced black magic. That I wonder, like, if these houses are haunted, if it's because someone got murdered in the house.
Maybe.
Or someone really is is practicing.
They're in the car.
Oh. For all. Bye.
All right. Well, context. Someone just, their car started honking. We were like, what the heck is going on? They were right in front of us. We just pointed at them.
Yeah, which.
And they started coming towards us. So we thought we were about to get mugged.
We thought it was Robert the Doll,
We
actually.
Controlling the car. Just make sure they leave. So okay. I think we're good.
Love that. I don't know. I think I would believe either though that it could be the house that like made Robert the Doll. Like, what if Robert?
I think it's both.
What if it was a good doll?
What do you mean a good doll?
Like, he was a good doll. He was just made of straw, just a nice guy, all around nice guy. Gets into that house, he starts acting funny because of the spirits in the house.
You know, it's funny you mention that because you never hear about like the good ghosts.
No,
good spirits. I mean, there
besides
are
Casper.
good. That is true, but have you ran into Casper?
Yeah,
No,
we actually
you haven't. Be quiet.
We actually
You have not.
we have tea time on Wednesday.
But like, yeah, there are good spirits and good ghosts that might, kind of help you with stuff. But the majority of the things are like, nah, this ghost's gonna strangle you in your sleep, burn you, scratch you.
Do you think it's because there aren't good ghosts, or people just don't share good ghosts?
I think it's the people that don't share, but I think a lot of ghosts are like vengeful, if that makes sense. So like, obviously, no one really wants to die. Typically, ghosts that are vengeful, that kind of haunt you, they died a little too early. As like maybe they're young, or maybe they were murdered or something like that. So maybe they're vengeful, and they just want to inflict their hurting, I guess, onto other people. Be like, man, I got murdered at such a young age. I wanted to be a unicyclist. I wanted to do this. I wanted to own a circus. Now I can't, because this boom boom ass dude just murdered me when I'm in my prime right now. So maybe they're mad and they want to take out their anger on the living people because they're still alive.
That is a good point, because like never mind. Because like you said, most people that die suddenly, they're going to be kind of vengeful. That like there aren't really good ghosts, because I feel like the only reason there are ghosts trapped here on Earth, besides like if you have like your grandfather die and you like see him or whatever, like I feel like angels and stuff like that can visit. Like I believe in that. Not even angels, ghosts. But ghosts that are trapped here, it's because they're trapped here for a reason. Like my mom always told me that you kind of have to tell the ghosts like, it's okay, you can go home, because they don't know that they're not supposed to be here. Does that make sense?
I think it's one of those things where you're gonna have to kind of be in that situation to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like it's easy for us to be like, all right, go home.
Go home, bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Do you want some Tupperware?
But it's like, man, as a ghost, I would have wanted to go home the second I died. Like, why would I want to be here, But it's like...
Well, I think it's because they don't know.
That's what I'm saying, but how do they know after you say, bye, go home?
Because someone has to tell them, like, you can go home. Like, your
and then,
mission
like, a portal
here,
opens, and then...
Your mission here's done, and then they realize...
What is this, Black Ops or something?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise and
It just
Mission
reminds
Impossible?
me of, like, the Men in Black Universal ride.
Oh, my gosh.
You saved the planet. Or, like, E.T. Like, you've saved the planet.
You can go home now.
Welcome home. No, literally. That's what I imagined in my head. Is the E.T. ride now. But, yeah, they don't know. And then once you tell them, they're like, oh, that makes sense. Why
I was lost this whole time.
In this stupid-ass house for the past 50 years. Like, damn. And then they just, I don't know, blast off? I don't know how they get
they
back.
go into space, remember?
Yeah, they get shot off into
Oh,
space.
my gosh.
Shout out Marissa for that one.
Yeah, whatever. But I think, going back to it, I think the craziest thing was like the car accidents and like the broken bones. Like, just like the luck aspect of it, like how I can't even fathom disrespecting this doll and then like a week later losing my job. You know what I'm saying?
That would be, because, like, how do you explain that to, like, your wife and kids? Yeah, so sorry, Johnny, you can't eat this week because Daddy's a prick and decided to heckle a doll in Key West.
Because, like, that's totally me. Like, I would 100% heckle this doll.
I'm sure he would love to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be some good heckles too. Like, it wouldn't be no like.
Not heckle, not chuckles.
I mean, it wouldn't be like, you look funny. No, I'm going in.
You
I'm having
stupid ass haircut. Like,
I'm having the car accident on the way home. The car accident is going to involve the broken bones. I'm going to lose my job because I can't go to work because I'm hurting.
this is the worst Clue game ever.
And then my wife is going to divorce me because I don't have a job.
Jace in Key West with a broken car and a broken marriage.
And then I'm going to sit there and be like, I'm not even married. How is this even possible?
He retroactively got you divorced.
Oh my gosh. I think that's crazy. I don't know why, but like there's like a part of me because I know there's like a museum that has a bunch of crazy like haunted artifacts, like the Zach Bagans museum,
something like that.
There's a museum in Nevada, I think, Zach Bagans, which is like a TV show host for Ghost Adventures or whatever. I'm not too sure. But he has like this Dybbuk box, which is like a box that has like a demon in it.
Oh.
But I think it's from like Indian folklore.
Okay.
But I think the thing that got me was that Post Malone visited it and he did something to the box. And Post Malone, I think he got in a car accident and I think his plane, his PJ, the landing gear or the tire blew up or something like that. He's all right. He's all good. But I know something like two bad things happened to him after he like saw that Dybbuk box. So like, I'm not saying that like that. What a coincidence that is, you know. But it's it's like Post Malone seems like a pretty trustful dude. Like, I would kind of believe him if he told me that he just heckled this Dybbuk box and then he just his PJ tire just blew out or something.
Yeah.
The landing. Oh, I think it was the landing gear didn't go down, or it was like jammed or something like that.
I don't know. That would like I would never do anything paranormal ever again if that happened to me. But to be fair, I feel like if you get heckled, it's kind of like if you heckle someone in real life, you're gonna get God.
That is true.
I am reading about old Robbie the doll over here.
Gosh.
Apparently, he had a new 10-year-old tenant after Bigger Robert died in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
The 10-year-old daughter found Robert the doll, and she was super
find Robert the doll
in the attic.
Oh, hell no. Are you kidding me?
And she said, hee, oh my God, this is so great. I love this for us.
Love
the doll. Me? And then she claimed that Robert was alive. The doll wanted to hurt her. And then told her parents that Robert kept moving around the room. So apparently, it might be the house. Or it might just be...
No, this doll is
the worst.
Psycho.
No, truthfully though, because even so, like, I guess more into the story of, old, Robbo doing whatever he wanted to do when he, like, overturned furniture and stuff. Oh yeah, he was 10. About 10 when this happened. But...
Who was 10?
Bigger Robert.
Oh, okay.
Was about 10. He woke up to find Robert the doll sitting at the end of his bed staring at him.
Yep.
Moments later, his mother was awakened by screams for help and the sound of furniture being overturned in her son's room. Jean cried for help. Oh, I guess they called him Jean. Jean cried for help, begging his mother to rescue him. When she finally was able to wrench the locked door open, she saw poor Jean curled up in fear on his bed, his room in shambles, and Robert the doll sitting at the foot of the bed. Robert did it were the only words Jean could get out.
So maybe, you know what I'm thinking? After hearing that, maybe Robert was attacking younger people. Maybe like these younger kids or whatever are like more susceptible to this ghost, or like they're more like gullible for these ghosts. or spirits. So these spirits go after these young kids because if you're a ghost and you say, hey, can you go like stab this person for me? The kid's gonna be like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, brain's not fully developed. They don't know the consequences. Now, if a doll told me to go stab someone, I'd be like,
yeah, sure, why not?
yeah, no. I'd be like, all right, what's going on here? Well, first off, why is this doll talking to me?
Yeah.
Do I have schizophrenia now? 2, why am I about to go to jail for this doll?
Oh, that's true.
You know, like maybe these kids don't know, or maybe they think like since their brain's not developed or whatever, maybe they're like, oh, this is my imaginary friend. This point in life, if a doll talks to me, I know what's going to happen.
I'm giving my kid up
for adoption. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Oh, anywhere.
Actually, I'm dropping him off with the doll to your house.
To my house. That's wrong.
I'm gonna be like, hey, can you watch him for a second? You will never see me again.
That is so wrong.
Will never see me again.
And then that's gonna happen to me, and then I'm gonna give it back to someone.
Oh my god.
This kid's gonna get passed along.
Well, don't pass him along. Give him the love he deserves.
I can't when this doll wants to cut my Achilles every night.
I have a fear of it though, so you need to take one for the team.
I don't want my Achilles being snatched.
Yeah, but what I'm in school for, I need the Achilles. You don't.
What am I gonna do? A wheelchair around the stadium or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They make wheelchair accommodations at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, really? Just adding where?
We'll blink that out. And now you'll never know. I don't know. I would not personally. I would believe my kid if my kid, obviously, if it's something stupid like, oh, who drew on the wall, and then my kid's like, oh, it was my Barbie doll. Like, no, ma'am, no, it was not. But if my kid overturned furniture, stuff like that, and I heard the doll talk, I'd be like, yeah, we're moving, and you're getting rid of that doll.
You're getting rid of the kid too.
Yeah, the kid too.
It was funny. I talked to my dad the other night about like this podcast and everything. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I remember when you were a little kid, we were in your crib at one time, and you just kept looking up at the ceiling or at your like toys or whatever. Nope. And he's like, yeah, at that moment, like, kind of wanted to get rid of you because he's like, I thought some of them, and like they thought like I saw like angels or like God or something like that.
Do you want to hear something? No.
And like my dad was like, nah, I can't do this.
As it is, my niece has been saying a phrase.
Okay.
My niece has been saying a phrase, and what she's saying is like one of like the high like devils or like high like it's a specific name, and it's like a high-ranking demon because her father recognized the name, and then they Googled it, and that's what she's been saying.
Just out of the blue?
Yeah, out of the blue. And Miss Rachel doesn't say that, so
maybe she was watching some like Supernatural.
I'm really hoping so, because I can't emotionally handle her being possessed, to be fair.
We'd have her on the podcast. That'd be sick. Have her right there in the back.
Like, hey, I know you're young, but what are your thoughts on demons? What do you think about that?
I mean, hopefully we'd pop off from that. That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah, if a 14th-month-old could tell me all that, then sure.
She just starts like levitating in the sea, speaking full like Portuguese or something.
No, really.
That's what I don't understand. Like how people will get like possessed, and then they'll start saying like some 15th century Latin or something like that. That would freak me out.
Yeah.
Knowing damn well I can barely speak English, and I'm about to speak like fluent Latin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Personally, I've seen, like, I know that happens a lot in, like, scary movies where they, like, get hexed or, like, whatever the thing is, and then they're, like, just start breaking out, like you said, the 15th century Latin, and everyone's like, huh.
That's new.
Interesting
When
reaction
did you learn
to
that?
No, really. Because I would not let that I would not let that slide.
Yeah, it's also, I'm looking up here, too. You know, people literally asked Robert the doll if they can take a picture of him.
Does he consent?
You know, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, they're like, hey, can I take a picture of you, dog? Is he going to be like...
What if he
yeah,
just slightly turns?
That's it for me. I don't need to take a
would
picture.
die.
But, like, where people are so... That's crazy that people are so afraid of this doll that they have to ask permission to take a picture
Yeah.
of it. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, hey, can I take a picture of you real quick? Do I just wait for a response, or is this like, do I ask and then he's like, all right, cool, bet. Make sure you tag me in the photo on IG.
No, I know.
Let me see if Robert the doll has an Instagram.
Robert the doll probably does have an Instagram. Only because I could imagine that someone has probably made him one. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, never mind. This account ended in 2018. They're all like fan accounts.
Maybe that person died because he killed him. I'm just saying. If he can cause car accidents, he can cause whatever he wants.
See, look at that. That's the real Annabelle doll right there. I have one of those.
Raggedy Ann?
I have a Raggedy Ann doll.
I thought Annabelle looked... I didn't know Annabelle looked legitimately like a Raggedy Ann doll, like the real one.
Do you think she looked like how it was in the movies?
I
Yeah, you
just
did.
assumed.
Yeah.
I hope he comes for your Achilles, to be completely honest with you.
He's going to get punted if he comes for the Achilles.
Not the punt.
Nah, I'm not taking that. Oh, so I'm looking at Robert the doll right now. He's sitting in a glass container. And you know what's right behind him?
What?
And like in his case are all the letters that people are sending.
That's what I'm saying. People send him whole like letters.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was like in the thing with him and like behind him and all that.
Listen, he's got fan mail.
And like these aren't like little letters. These are like novels that people are typing up on like a Word doc.
They're like, hi, I want you to get my boss back in A, B, C, or D. Pick. You could take your pick.
You can fire him. You can kill him. You can harm him.
Cut their tires.
I don't really care.
Make them late today. I don't care. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, it says Robert the doll caused bad luck to almost or all people that take a photograph of him without getting permission. So, okay. All right, I got a apology letter that I can read. This was from July 13th, 2007. Dear Robert, we went down to see you early last year. I foolishly took a picture of you. Ever since, I've been under a terrible string of bad luck. I lost jobs, broke bones, property vandalism, and hundreds of terrible other things have happened. This is my last resort to end this bad luck. Sorry for taking your picture. Signed by the person that, I guess, did this. That is crazy.
That is so insane. Imagine having to tell, like, your wife or, like, real estate agent, doctor, whatever it is, whatever it's affecting you, and then, like, I know this is going to sound cuckoo crazy. It definitely was the doll.
No, like,
It would explain it, though.
If I was a boss and my like employee came up to me saying that,
I believe him.
No, really, 100%.
No, because Robert the doll, which makes me like almost kind of scared, only because like he is so powerful 100 and like what 16 years or 100 and whatever years later that he can.
We'll check the math on that.
That he can inflict bad luck on somebody from far away just from taking a picture.
No, I think like once you take that picture, you're done. You're like you're tagged. There's even
Tag you're it.
No, 100%. There's even like a warning. It says, "Don't photograph." It says, "Robert, I should have listened to all those who warned me about photographing you. I paid for a few of the photos I took. Listed below is the terrible you caused me. My 2 favorite souvenirs from Key West came up missing." That's all right.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, like whatever, you know. Upon returning my car rental, an unexplained $50 charge showed up on my credit card. Again,
That's okay. I mean, that happens to me without seeing Robert the doll.
3, the hotel I had a reservation for you gave my room to someone else. So, like, their reservation got canceled, I guess.
Oh, that sucks.
On my return flight home, you gave me the same seat number as another passenger.
I feel like, see, I feel more for the first guy. This guy, I'm like, this is something that would just genuinely happen to me as a series of unfortunate events.
No, honestly, it says, when I went to retrieve my luggage at the airport, it wasn't on the carousel it was assigned to. You put it 2 carousels further down. Mine was the only one that was on the wrong carousel. Number 6, you had my loving cat greet my return home by biting me, and you made me late to work on my first day back from vacation. What I have to say about this one, that would happen to any other, like, normal human.
That's why,
to be completely honest with you. But the fact that he did go to Robert the Doll, kind of, there might be some validation towards that.
Yeah,
but that would happen
also,
to me
like,
on any normal day.
I was going to say, that's literally just a Tuesday for me. Is everything going wrong?
No, 110%. Like, that's, like, that happens to me every day. I didn't see Robert the Doll.
You said just my own reflection.
It's my own. But Robert the Doll does not have a Instagram. He's not, he doesn't have the clout, all that stuff.
Maybe we can have him on the pod.
And then we're not going to survive afterwards.
But maybe if we give him an open platform to say what he needs to say.
He's going to be like, yeah, I'm messing all y'all up. Don't even come at me. Could you imagine he gets up, starts running out of the car? I'm free. Nowhere to be found.
I would move. I don't know where, but I would just move.
You're not safe anywhere.
Maybe in a different... He can't get on a plane, can he?
I wouldn't even question if he could.
Could you imagine if we were on a flight and we're like... That would be like the best, scariest ending of a movie of like us settling into a flight and being like, we finally got away from him. And then it's like...
Right
and then it's like... And now your pilot... like a message from your pilot, and we just hear screams, and he just waddles out of the cockpit. Like, wow. And then the screen cuts black.
We're going to have to edit that out, because that's a good movie pitch. So we're going to keep that.
Well, that is a good movie pitch, honestly. That would be a scary movie.
We're not letting anyone hear that.
No.
Yeah, we're not letting anyone get that movie idea. We're taking all the money for ourselves. We're not going to edit that out.
No.
Because we're a little too lazy. But
if someone wants to collab with my other ideas, let me know. And I will give you all of my best movie ideas.
I feel like this podcast has been like all over the place.
No, I know. It really has.
We talked about like Annabelle, Dybbuk boxes.
But to be fair, it all connects. Basically, if you see a haunted doll, be respectful, give it a joint.
Or you can just antagonize it. And
okay, if you want to go flying across the room like Jace, you can attack and have everything go wrong. You can be like Jace.
See, what I wonder is if, say you got like a big group of like 20 people.
Okay.
You went in there and you antagonized it. All 20 people antagonized this doll. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna like mass like murder all of you guys?
Maybe.
You know what?
Because it'll be like, what if it's like 5 years down the line, that same group of people at your wedding, there's like a fire. No one makes it out.
That's crazy. Like, that's another thing. Like, how long does that last?
I was going to say, that happens in scary movies, though. Of some, like, I've seen some scary movies that I feel like are, because they're, like, paranormal. I feel like it could be based off of real events. That, like, it just kind of follows until they kill every member of the group. Like, whatever the spirit is or whatever. That
happened for a movie, right?
I don't remember what movie.
It was, like, Poltergeist or something.
Yeah,
you know.
That it literally makes sure, no end unturned, that everyone is getting smoke in that group.
Well, this is another, like, whole podcast, but I know that's, like, ancient Egypt, or not ancient Egypt, but, like, archaeologists that unveil, like, pharaoh tombs and all that, that's what happens to them.
Really? Well, I think we will save that probably maybe for next time.
Damn.
But thank you guys for listening about Robert the Doll. Please subscribe everywhere that you listen to podcasts, on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.